I would talk to this way. The rewards of sacrifice. The rewards of sacrifice. Our friend, the Apostle Paul, the time of our text is full of gratitude and appreciation for what those who are a part of the church at Philippi have done for him. They came through for him when he needed help. Because they came through for him, he begins to share with them how much he appreciates their sacrifice. Paul is so thankful that when he had a need, the members of the church at Philippi, without hesitation or debate, gave that he would have. They did not grumble over giving. They did not debate over giving. They did not wait to see who would give first. They gave because they saw the need of the work. Instead of Paul acknowledges that because of their unconditional support, he was able to overcome more difficult moments in life and in ministry. He's been able to handle the rigors of ministry, the challenges of ministry, the hurts of ministry, not because he was so wise, but because there was help when he needed it. So now he thinks it appropriate way to tell them thank you. And although he has gotten so much attention personally for what has happened in his ministry, Paul is humble and wise enough to know that he would not have been able to make it without the help of the church. A church that was willing to be a conduit of hope. A church that understood that with the resources God had given to them, they were obligated to share them. A people that understand that it's not always about giving. Sometimes it's about giving. Paul understands that he could have never done what he did if it had not been for the help of those persons whose names he may never know, whose faces he may never see, but whose sacrifices he will never take for granted. That because Paul's no could suggest that too many of us would somebody know our name. Sacrifice is what happens when the kingdom is the kingdom. Sacrifice is what we do when we're walking in the will of God. Sacrifice is what is necessary for lives to be built and rebuilt. Sacrifice is what led Jesus to pull the robe of flesh. Sacrifice for the robe of heaven is what humbled Jesus to mount a cross called Calvary. Sacrifice is what kept Jesus on the cross when he could have come down. Sacrifice is what told him, take the nails, accept the crown, go to the grave, deal with hell, because your lot in life is to make a reasonable sacrifice. However, the tension and the reality in this postmodern era is that far too many of us hesitate when called upon to make a sacrifice. Can I stop on God? There are some who wonder why they should. Some who wonder why they have to. Some will wait for somebody else. And others who just simply refuse to do because it calls you to be selfless and not self-centered. I wish we had more selfless folk in the church tonight. Let me suggest for us, that God is calling for a selfless church. A church that will meet needs and not just have needs. A church that will provide covering and not just one covering. And people who will give and not just take. Anybody that's tired of so many takers in your life? But some people drain you and drive you down because they want what you have but won't give back. I thank God for people in my life who will give and not just take. For those who will pray for me when I don't even ask them to pray. People who will think of others and not just themselves. People who will offer help and not just want your help. I was talking to a co-laborer who works hard in the ministry given to him by God, and he called and he said to me that it seems like in ministry there's always another dime that needs to be given, another hour that needs to be worked, another family outing that must be missed, another morning when he must get up before everybody else, another sacrifice that needs to be made. But then he said, it's the least I can do. After all that God has done for me, it's the least that I can do. After saving my soul, it's the least that I can do. After the chance that He's given me, it's the least that I can do. After turning my life upside down, it's the least that I can do. After the joy He's given me, it's the least that I can do. After the hope that He's given me, it's the least that I can do. The least I can do is give back. The least I can do is help my brother. The least I can do is pray for my sister. The least I can do is want the best for you. The least I can do is call your name and pray. The least I can do is try to help your sister out. The least I can do is want you to have what I have. Hear this text. Who has read about the work of ministry, said something powerful to the church at Philippi. I would dive into that. He says in verse 15, he says, not one church shared with me in the matter of giving and receiving except you. I'll just say, are you the only one? He says, others knew the need. They knew the purpose. They understood the significance, but they just weren't willing. Can I just be transparent tonight? I've been preaching all weekend long. I'm tired, so I can just talk to you. It's disappointing when persons know the need, but are willing to help provide the need. It's frustrating when you shout about the victory, but won't help in the process. This is my talking plan tonight because the problem that Paul faced is the problem that our world, our country, our people, our communities, our churches are facing right now. Not enough people who will make the sacrifice to make ministry happen. Everybody wants to enjoy the fruit of labor, but not everyone is willing to participate in the perfect change. So sometimes God wants you to participate in the process so that when victory is given, you don't just have a half shout, but you got to shout that declares, I will be there when God gives me. I give a hand when God calls my name. I will